Longevity is currently a massive buzzword, but with the volume of people wanting to drop out of the C-suite, with the volume of burnout in leadership in particular, I think that longevity in leadership is a really important conversation, and it's really what endurance leadership is about. So how do we achieve our goals, achieve our summits, not just once, but on repeat? And I was thinking on my accountability framework and how to actually be an endurance leader, in short, how to get that leadership longevity. Now, at the heart of this is identity, which I'm going to touch on in the next podcast episode. But identity is really the combination of the three tenets of accountability. So internal accountability, behavioral accountability, and relational accountability. Why does it matter that we embrace this new paradigm for accountability to have longevity in our leadership, in our businesses, in our communities? Well, first off, we start with our internal accountability. And this is constantly coming back to alignment. So constantly coming back to our vision, doing the things that are most important, constantly coming back to our values, doing things that align with those. And so often it's not about actually doing everything, but about doing the things that matter. Then we get to our behavioral accountability. This is when we instill the habits, the decision frameworks, the ability to say no, the boundaries, the health outcomes. So the self-leadership piece, all of these things that enable us to be accountable to our higher purpose, our bigger vision, the summits that have meaning to us. And then finally, we come to relational accountability. So how are we accountable to the most important people in our lives, and to building and nurturing those support systems that are going to help us thrive? So the difference with this is it's not just about having another job to do, right? It's not about having a 7-stage 5 a.m. project before you've even made your coffee. It's not about having this life balance that involves having everything in your life being perfect. And it's not about endless hustle or doing more. In fact, there is more and more research coming out that shows that being productive does not necessarily mean being busy. In fact, they're completely different things. And so you can be focused and have momentum to actualize your potential in the right directions without being busy and frazzled and doing all of the things. And this is an aspect of this new paradigm for accountability that we have to embrace, constantly coming back to these three sides of the triangle. So what is the identity that I need to be accountable to? Are the internal factors that I need to be accountable to in terms of my vision, my values, my purpose, what has meaning to me? How do I look after myself? How do I put my own life mask on, oxygen mask on first? The behavioral accountability. So what actions, habits, thoughts, decisions, etc. will feed into that ultimate end goal and into my behaviors and my ultimate identity. And the relational accountability. Who do I need to surround myself with to be my best self, and who matters to me enough to show up for them? So thank you for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow for more from Endures. Bye.